Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Kapil. This is the Dark Horse Project, and I am the Dark Horse. Today, I want to talk about something which I feel a lot of people are actually lacking in their lives today, and that is self-confidence. Now, for me personally, I've had my fair share of having very low confidence in my skills, my abilities, and just generally in day-to-day life. Now, what I used to think was that for me to feel confident in my own abilities is that I need the right people around me at the right time. I need people to support me and to validate me in everything that I do. Let's say, for example, that I gave a presentation at work, and in that moment, I would want people around me to give me some good validation for my efforts. I would want people to give me, a pat on the back for a good job well done. So again, I'm relying on people around me to give me that self-confidence by giving me that feedback essentially. And the same thing goes with friends and family members. I would want them to give me some praise for, again, another good job well done. I want them to give me some kind of feedback and support when I need it. But then over time, what I realize is that what I'm doing here is essentially relying on my external environment, relying on people around me for that confidence. So, in other words, if I'm not getting that validation, if I'm not getting that feedback and that praise from the people around me, that means no confidence for me at all. So, when I speak of the people around me, what I'm actually saying is that I need people around me. I need that external validation. I need that external environment around me to give me that confidence. And for me, I can't actually influence or impact the external environment because it's external. And because I can't control the external stuff happening around me, I can't actually influence how much confidence I can really get. So over time, what I've realized was that building self confidence isn't about relying on people around you or the external environment at all. Actually, self confidence is about you, it's about your internal game, it's about you relying on you to get the job done. So, an example of how you can build self confidence is by saying to yourself that you're going to do something and you actually do it. So, let's say that you choose to wake up at a certain time in the morning, call it 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., doesn't matter. Let's say that's what you want to do and you actually follow through on the action and you actually do it and you acknowledge it as well. So, because you're doing that, because you said to yourself you're going to do something and you actually do it, you're building that self confidence just a little bit more. Another example could be the fact that you said that you're going to check off 10 different items on your to-do list for a given day. And when that day comes around, you check off each item one at a time, and all 10 items have been ticked off. Again, you're following through on what you said you're going to do. And let's say, for example, that you want to have a tough conversation with a family member or even a close friend. So the day comes, you decide to pick up the phone and you have that conversation. And because you said to yourself that you're going to do that and have that tough conversation and you do it, again, you're building up that self confidence. So, really, what you're doing here is that you're building one action after the other. You're following through on the different things you said you're going to do. You're stacking up these wins one after the other. These are what I call your private victories. And time again, when you become repetitive in terms of what you're actually going to say you're going to do and you actually do it, one thing after the other, you start to build self trust. You start to trust yourself in your own abilities, your skill, and to get the job done. And the reason why I call these private victories because these are essentially things that you accomplish behind closed doors. Again, you're not relying on people around you. You're not relying on people to give you that support, that validation, that pat on the back again. You don't want that. You're basically saying to yourself, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and I'm going to do it, and you do it. And once you acknowledge that, that's when that self trust, that self confidence starts to play in. So again, it's all about the private victories, what you're doing behind closed doors, and that is what matters here. You're also building a reputation with yourself because now you're saying to yourself, you know what, I don't need people around me to tell me how I need to feel confident. Instead, what you're saying to yourself is that I can rely on myself. You can rely on you to get A, B, C, and done. And that's all the trust that you need from yourself. And that's how you build a very good, very solid reputation with yourself. So, just to round up a few points there. First of all, you don't need the external environment. You don't need people around you to support you when you think you need it most to get your self confidence. Instead, you're looking within yourself. It's an internal game to actually say to yourself, I'm going to do A, B, C, and D, and you follow through and you do it and you get the job done. And in that way, you're building that self trust, that self confidence, and you're building a good reputation for yourself and for yourself only. Secondly, if there are times where I feel very low confidence in myself, I tend to ask the question, okay, what in this situation can I control? And what in this situation can I not control? And what you can control, those controllables, that's where you need to look in a lot further. That's where you need to be more laser focused because you know exactly what in that situation you can control, what you can actually directly influence, and therefore influence the actual outcome of that event. So, for example, going back to the presentation that I mentioned, you can focus on how you prepare for the presentation, the slides, the content, making sure that what you're presenting is suitable for the audience. Again, that's in your control. What's not in your control is how people react to it at the very end. You can't control how people react to it, how they give you feedback. You can't control what the overall outcome will be, essentially. What we can control is how much effort you put into it yourself. And lastly, what I would mention is that I know what I've said so far can be a tough pill to swallow. I get that. I've been down that road many a times myself where I stopped looking outside of myself. I stopped looking for support around me to give me self confidence. And instead, it was a big mindset shift to actually say to myself, you know what? I need to start relying on myself, my abilities, my time, my effort to get the job done. Again, doing the big and small things. Again, stacking up those wins, those private victories behind closed doors. And so far, I've been thriving, and here I am today to tell you the same message. Start relying on yourself, your own abilities, and even if it means starting very small, doing the very small things one bit at a time, will then manifest into something very, very big over time. So that's my take on self-confidence. I hope you took something really useful away from today's video. Again, my name is Kapil. I'm the Dark Horse, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care now. Bye.